Fire for them, fire for them. If you're looking for that 35 bag umbrella and all damn thing there, keep it locked with DISUNOMICS podcast.
What's good, people? Another Monday morning news, slightly different settings. Shout out High Frequency Studios. And let's get straight into it. Firstly, COVID certificates, vaccine passports. Dread it, run from it, destiny arrives all the same. I'm sure you people might remember when I was like, the transport sec said, no vaccine passports, they have no intention of doing it because it doesn't make sense. Why doesn't it make sense? 3 reasons, he said. 1, vaccines are mandatory here. 2, it'll be discriminatory. And 3, we don't know if vaccines stop transmission of the virus. It just stops symptomatic infection. It stops you getting sick. Fast forward, Boris said, I don't care. It's going to happen. So speaking in Middlesbrough early this week, I think it was on a Thursday, Boris was like, yo, listen, it is what it is. We're going to have aviation people talking about it, foreign countries talking about it. To travel, boy, it is what it is. Get with it or get lost. Essentially what he said, same with Matt Hancock. So we've seen loads of leaks. So basically all the publications, The Sun, The Times, The Telegraph, BBC, have all been given gist clearly by the government who are kind of feeding breadcrumbs a young Chinese whisper to see, to test the temperature. Do you know what I mean? Know when you don't quite want to send a cheeky text, you say something not as cheeky to see if it's going to run. That's what the government did with this information and just to test the waters. So everybody's reporting it and we've seen all types of different accounts. And we're looking at probably autumn before we witness this. Now, the sports minister has said today that, yeah, we're going to be trialing having people in certain venues. So the first venue will be, I think, the 16th of April in Liverpool, a comedy night. And they're going to try the FA Cup final. I think Carabao Cup might be tried as well. They're talking about World Championship Snooker, and I think the Brits is also cited for this. So this will not include any form of certification. It will just be simply a test in and a test when you leave. But they're looking at going toward a certification route. Now, the certification route and what they've been talking about is a documentation, whether it be an app or via paper that shows A, if you've been vaccinated or not. B, if you've had coronavirus already and you've bust case, because once you have coronavirus, you have some form of immunity. The early tests are showing up to like 70 to 80%, which is effectively like a vaccination anyway. Or B, C, you've tested negative for coronavirus. So the theory is that, you could be, let's say they did this for, I don't know, a football match. Everybody in the stadium would either A, have a vaccination, so they're not going to get sick from COVID. B, they've already had COVID, so the same thing. Or C, they don't have COVID because they just tested negative for COVID. So I see the theory behind it. Now, MPs aren't really, there's a lot of MPs, 70 MPs so far, have come out and been like, we're not effing with this. Some high-level MPs such as former senior Tory MP Ian Duncan Smith and senior Labour MPs such as Donald, Corbyn, Diane Abbott. Keir Starmer has warned that, the British people ain't really on this, bro. Do you know what I mean? But let me see Boris's plans. So early signs and early tea leaves show that you won't need a vaccine passport for the bus or for non-essential shops or for the gym. But if it's the club, if it's cinema, if it's theatre, if it's travel, you may need it. And yes, Matt Hancock as well, he was saying, listen, it is what it is. Other countries are likely to require you to have a vaccine before you fly there. I went to Ghana in 2019. I had a yellow fever vaccination before I entered there. If I didn't have that certificate, they would have jabbed my ass up right there and made me pay. So it's nothing really new, but that's the setting. So I know the anti-vaxxers, comment below, get busy. I know you're going to have your Illuminati, Freemason, the world's ending theories. Let us know. But yeah, I just find it very interesting because this was never the plan. Well, according to them, but it seems to have changed. And I think a lot of senior officials in the government don't want to. But me personally, in fact, if you want my personal opinions, check out my pod. I did a pod on this week. So that's the news for the COVID and vaccine passports. Now moving on to Deliveroo, or the streets calling it Deliveroo. What is Deliveroo? Deliveroo is a UK delivery food service and I think it's backed by Amazon, that deliver food from restaurants to off licenses straight to your door. Now, they have competitors such as Just Eat as well as Uber Eats, and they've been doing bits in the last year because obviously we've all been stuck at home, stuffing our faces. Well, I'm currently on a ban. I'm on day 27, I believe. Got like 23 days left. God be with me. Now, they wanted to raise some capital and go public. So they went down the route of an IPO, which is an initial public offering. What an IPO is, a private company is like, yo, you, the public and investors, you can have some form of ownership in our company in exchange for your money. So we give you shares in our company for exchanging your money. Now, the initial aim was between £3.90 per share to £4.60 per share. Comes to the day, £3.90 per share, and I woke up that day, checked my phone, saw FD saying, yo, man, I get slapped. It's down 30%. Ended up the day down 26%, which in the world of stock and shares, that is a massive, massive, massive L. Now, I remember Deliveroo was, obviously I use Deliveroo, so I was offered the opportunity and I was thinking of it, but I spoke to my boy Seb Lasolas. Shout out Seb. And we were discussing it and he's like, the profitability, I don't know. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. If anything, I could get cheaper later. That was my guess. This is not financial advice, please. Don't look at me if things go left, you know what I mean? Boom. Share prices, of course, went down. They went down big time. And it's mad because Deliveroo, to be like a individual investor, you had to spend at least £250. I think that would have got you at that share price 60 odd shares, 64 shares, 64, 65 shares for that price. And boy, things have got to plan. So according to reports, there was about 70,000 small investors, which could have been me. And I'm sure one of my listeners or viewers were one of them. And they made losses that day, unfortunately. 70,000 people putting into £50 million. Not good. Deliveroo was aiming for about 8.8, just under £9 billion valuation. Didn't go to plan, 7.6 billion. Now, people were looking at why didn't this go well. So I was reading, I think it was on Market Watch. Here's some of the reasons that they cited for things not going so well. Failure to bring in several large funds on board. That's common sense. The dual class share structure, regulatory uncertainty, general profitability concerns, which of course, one of my boys cited. Miscalculation by the bankers on price in relation to wider demand in the market. This shows these are probably the reasons why things went out of cellar. It also doesn't help that Deliveroo had some negative press earlier. They were saying, man, not even paying the drivers. They're getting that £2. They're getting less than minimum wage. All that stuff. So yes. And before I recorded this pod, I checked the share price of Deliveroo, £2.82. So from £3.90, it's not looking too good. Now to round up, I'm talking France, and this is on a more solemn note for me personally. I'm not French, nor am I Muslim, but I just don't like fuckery. Excuse my language. But so less than a month after voters in Switzerland, I remember I spoke on this on Monday morning news, voted in support to ban on the burqa and niqab. France has taken this stance a step further. They have now got a ban against religious clothing and symbol, and they moved to outlaw hijabs in public places for women under the ages of 18. On March 30th, the French Senate voted in favour of the prohibition, I'm moving nuts, in public spaces of any conspicuous religious sign by minors and of any dress or clothing which will signify interiorization of women over men. In addition, hijabi mothers will be prohibited from accompanying school field trips and burkins will be banned in public swimming pools. So women who wear hijabs, they can't accompany their kids on field trips. Burkinis are banned from public swimming pools. These laws are part of the proposed separation bill. They're not yet into effect, but they have to be voted on. And French President Macron has been previously expressed that hijab is not in accordance to French ideals. But he said that he doesn't wish to make a law that prohibits it in the streets. You just prohibit it in the streets for under 18s. This is very, very, very mad to me. Very, very mad to me. And as of 2019, I think there's about 3.3 million Muslims in France, just around 5%. And research says they project that could be up to 8 million by 2050. So prayers up for the people of France and Muslim people. I think this is terrible. I can't understand it, but yeah, that's the latest news coming from France. So yeah, that's it for this week's news. Comment below. Do you believe what the French are doing is morally right or wrong? Let me know. Deliveroo, or they call it Flopperoo. Did you invest? Did you not invest? What's your thoughts? And of course, with the COVID pass certificates, let me know. And of course, make sure to subscribe below. Before this pod, I was like only a few subscribers away from 1,000. Take me above 1,000. Podcast below if you want more information, and of course my opinion on views on the COVID certificate and passport. And don't forget the Patreon. I hope you had a fantastic Easter. Peace and God bless people.